Happy holidays, romance readers. I am Liz Donatelli. Welcome to Reader Seeks Romance, the #1 romance novel talk show on YouTube. In celebration of the season, I am joined by a jolly group of fabulous authors to discuss their 2023 holiday romance novels. And the authors play This Title Needs a Story, Holiday Romance Edition. Mia Heintzelman is the author of Clued in Christmas, pub date October 2023. Annie Rains is the author of Through the Snow Globe, pub date August 2023. Jaqueline Snowe is the author of Snowed In for Christmas, pub date October 2023. Kerry Winfrey is the author of Faking Christmas, pub date September 2023. Welcome to Reader Seeks Romance, authors.
Hi.
Hi. From the intros, everyone's books released not in a month you would think they would release for holidays. So what was the reasoning behind releasing your books in August, September, October?
So from what I understand, it has to do with the fact that your book is not really going to sell much after December. Like your sales are going to go down pretty steeply in January. Okay. No one really wants a Christmas book then. So that's what I understand is they just need to have that run up time. But I will say for my book, it was kind of disheartening to release a Christmas book in September. So many people would buy it and they'd be like, I'm not going to read this for a couple months.
Right. I admit, Kerry, I have not yet read Faking Christmas. I own it. As you know, I was at your book launch, but I'm waiting a little now that it's December. I was waiting for December to arrive, essentially. Did anyone else want to weigh in? Now, Mia.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and agree with Kerry. I think they want that lead up time, but also I think nowadays with all the Bookstagrammer, blogger, TikTokers, they like pre-plan their lists of what they're going to read. And also if you want to be on holiday lists when they come out, they need enough time for the bookstores, for whoever's reviewing trade reviews, all that kind of stuff. They need months in advance, at least 3 months that I'm aware of, 3 to 4 months. So that is already pushing you August through late September.
Right.
Yeah. Anything later, you're only giving yourself like a month to sell.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Jaqueline, did you want to mention anything, or Annie, or pretty much what Mia and Kerry said?
I would say just pretty much what they said as far like just the marketing and the impact of sales it'll have.
Okay.
Yeah, same. Because they like Kerry said, sales fall off as soon as Christmas is over. So they want to prolong, prolong your shelf time.
Let's begin with an icebreaker. Share a winter holiday tradition that you observe. Jaqueline, could you please share a winter tradition?
I knew it was coming. So a winter tradition we celebrate in my family is Christmas. And with that, we do an Advent box. So I am fortunate enough that I have the best in-laws in the world. And so they spoil our kids rotten. We have 2 kids. And so every December 1st, grandparents come over, we have pizza, and they have 24 tiny little gifts that our young kiddos get to open one each day. And it can be as simple as like just a little foam ball or a little race car. And this is the 4th year in a row we've done it with our kids. So that has been very exciting.
How old are your kids?
My son is 4, and then my daughter is about 20 months.
Oh, then it's especially exciting.
Yeah, they're so excited. This is his first real year just being aware of what Christmas is. So it's been, and since Thanksgiving has been completed, we have just been all in on Christmas.
Annie, what is a winter holiday tradition that you observe?
So one of our newest traditions over the last couple of years, because I have a sister and she has kids and I have 3 kids, instead of buying gifts for all of the kids, because, we have, there's a lot of kids in the family. What we do is take the money we would have spent on a present and we go to a lighted hayride. In our town, there's this huge farm. It's called Mike's Tree Farm. And they have a tractor and they pull like huge trailers of people, and you go through the woods and there's lighted displays and they play music and there's snow that falls down and it's just really magical. So we do that. We have an experience instead of exchanging gifts, and it's a lot of fun.
That sounds like you ripped that off from a Hallmark movie.
That's what I was thinking.
It feels like a Hallmark movie.
Right?
It's gorgeous. And they play the music and it's freezing cold usually, and you can get a cup of hot chocolate while you're there. It's just so much fun.
Wow, that sounds super exciting. I love that. Mia, can you beat that, Mia?
Okay. Yes.
Well, you're
Okay.
pretty
I'm just kidding.
confident.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Every year we go to the Polar Express in Williams, Arizona, and we take the kids. And it was just like, I think the first time we went, the kids were really tiny and like 2 and 4 type age. And they had so much fun because Santa gets on the train, you travel to the North Pole, they give you cookies, they sing hot, 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 hot chocolate. And you're doing the whole song, and there's carols and the cookies. And I'm more into it because the entire town dresses up in pajamas, Christmas pajamas. You
Aw.
get to it's just an entire Christmas town. And I just love it. So yeah, that's my favorite Christmas tradition. Yeah.
That's amazing. I am astonished that these things are happening out there in the
Yeah.
world, because I
Definitely
really
go if you get a chance.
Really? Wow. Now, Kerry, we both live in Columbus, Ohio. Does anything like that exist in Columbus?
Oh,
Like-
I feel like nothing that exciting. No.
Right.
That's really cool. Yeah.
That is very cool. So what kind of winter holiday tradition do you observe?
We always go to Wild Lights at the zoo. Liz, I don't know if you've been.
I have not.
Okay, it's fun. I mean, they light up the whole zoo and they play extremely loud Christmas music that basically like deafens you. And we love it. I mean, sometimes it's miserably cold, sometimes it's miserably crowded. A lot of the animals aren't out because it is cold, but
Yeah.
it is really fun to see all the lights. We really enjoy it.
I have to say, you didn't quite sell me on it though, Kerry.
I know, right? I was like, everyone else is like Polar Express. And I'm like, do you want to go to the zoo when it's cold? None of the animals are out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm guessing then just nocturnal animals are out, but are they even outside? Those are the ones inside. I think.
Well, you can see, yeah, like some things are inside and you can see the reindeer. They're always out.
Oh, I was just going to say, do they really exist? And then I realized they do. I don't know why I thought they didn't exist. Let me set the scene for you. You have a meeting with execs at Hallmark Channel, Lifetime, and Netflix to pitch a movie adaptation of your holiday romance. Be sure to include your name, the book title, what the book is about, and any production notes, such as the filming location, dream cast or director, whatever you want to throw in there. So I'm going to just randomly pick someone, and I'm going to pick Mia.
I knew it.
Did you?
I
Really?
felt it in my bones.
Would you consider yourself psychic or intuitive, Mia?
Occasionally, yes.
Okay. Because you know what? I felt that when I said Mia, you were going to say, I knew you were going to pick me. So, all right. Do you want a minute to gather yourself?
I mean, I've got a little bit of something ready.
Okay. So
A
when
little
you're
bit of something. Yeah, I'm ready.
take it away,
Okay.
Mia.
Yes, darling, we've got this great film for you. Her name is Mia Heintzelman. The book title is Clued in Christmas. And let me just tell you, this one, winner. First of all, now it is a fun, flirty holiday romance featuring a sexy cardigan-wearing single dad who hasn't given up on his whirlwind summer romance just yet. And let me just tell you, he shared this relationship with this feisty, jaded, blonde game store owner. And right now, they're about to catch a clue.
I did not expect you to deliver that like you were Mia's agent.
I'm animated. I'm basically an illustration in human form.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. Now, are you representing Mia? Because you talked about Mia in the third person. Okay. So
Totally third person. This is not me.
okay. So Mia's agent, do you have any actors attached to this project? Like who are you looking at to
Absolutely,
star in it?
Liz.
Mhm.
Liz, we've got someone great in mind. We've pegged Emma Stone for our heroine. We love her. We think she's perfect for the part. We've got a few people for the hero, but we're open to choices on that one. We definitely want to have a few scenes set in Big Bear, California. And then also in San Diego, where the game store is located.
Interesting. Now, are we going to have any trouble with who makes the Clue game? Parker Brothers?
Hasbro.
Hasbro.
Nation?
I don't even know if Parker Brothers exists anymore. Hasbro. Yeah. Are we going to have to get like legal on that?
We will need to get some licensing going on, or if necessary, we can also have our own little fictional games. We can turn all of them fictional if necessary. Our author is open to that.
Okay. And what happens to these two? They is this like a friends to lovers? Like, what are we dealing with?
Second chance romance. We got a single dad and a secret admirer, secret Santa, and we've also got a real life Clue game going on.
Okay, Secret Santa. Yeah, we could probably do something with that. Well, okay. Well, thank you very much, Mia. My people will be in touch with you.
We hope
and
to
your
hear from you
people
soon, very soon.
Well, thank you for including me in it, Mia. You talked to me like I was an exec, and I am flattered that you think I could work for either of those organizations. So I guess I'll just continue and be Liz, who represents all of those three, the holy grail of romance movie adaptations. Let's see. So who's next? Thank you, Mia. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with Kerry Winfrey. First off, Kerry Winfrey, before we begin, any relation to Oprah?
No, although I would love to use any connections that would get me.
Okay, we're gonna get Oprah in on. We're gonna get you a meeting with Oprah as well. Go ahead, Kerry.
All right, so I am going to be representing myself right now. I don't have an agent to talk for me. So, the book, I am Kerry Winfrey, and the book is Faking Christmas. It is based on the 1945 movie Christmas in Connecticut, a classic film. Except this one takes place in Ohio. So, a pretty low production budget if you still wanted to film it there. It is about a woman who is kind of lying to her boss and making him think that she is a farmer and a mother and a wife who can cook and take care of goats and make her own soap. And in reality, she is a single woman living in Columbus and writing this fake column for the magazine she works for. And that's all fine until her boss invites himself over for Christmas. And she has to pretend to be her twin sister and pretend to be married to her nemesis. The one note I would have about this is we're going to need to have twins or do some technology to make one person look like two people.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, that could get expensive. So we're just going to have to go with twins. Do you have anybody attached to this project?
No, I think we're having a hard time finding twin actresses. It's a little bit difficult.
Okay, then we might have to go the Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap route and have the one person just, we use the camera angles to trick people into believing there were two. So we'll have to think about that. As far as cast, now I know, let's say we go with one person. Who would you cast as the twins?
I have the perfect person because I have been watching some Hallmark movies lately, and I love their actress, Sarah Ramos, who used to be on Parenthood, but now she's doing Hallmark films. And I think she'd be great.
I just saw Sarah Ramos actually on a Hallmark movie. It's the new one that just came out. I can't remember which one it is, but I just saw it.
The one about like the football player and something in Notting Hill. Yeah.
The Notting Hill. Yes. The Notting Hill one. Yes. That was good. Christmas in Notting Hill. Yeah. And how about for the male lead? Who you think?
Okay. This one is difficult because I, not to speak ill of Hallmark, but I don't love a lot of their male leads. So I'm hoping we can find somebody good.
Okay. Yeah. I'll put you in touch with the casting director I work with a lot, and they can, give you some options. Okay. So Ohio, yeah, that'll be cheap. I mean, that'll be cheap to, we could even probably steal some shots by just shooting in empty parking lots. So I think,
that would work.
And make it seem like that's the farm. So I think we'd be good with that. All right. Well, thank you very much, Kerry. I guess we'll be in touch with you since you don't have any representation. Although we do recommend that you do get an agent to protect your rights when it gets down to all the legalese. Okay. Well, thank you. Okay, let's see. We have 2 more. Okay. Annie looks pretty eager, but you know what? Jacqueline's given off a very calm, cool, collected confidence. You know what? Let's go in with Annie.
Right.
Annie, go to it.
I am also going to be representing myself because I also don't have an agent to speak for me like Mia does. So I have this book. It's called Through the Snow Globe. And it is, if you like Groundhog's Day, it's Groundhog's Day meets A Wonderful Life. It's got like all of those kind of vibes in it. I have a heroine who's kind of an ice queen in the beginning. She's very guarded, which is perfect for Hallmark movies because she has a transformation from day to day. She finds herself repeating the same day over and over again. And it's the day that her fiance got into an accident. He was riding his bicycle. He works as a toy store owner, and he rides his bike to work every day, and he gets hit by a delivery truck. So he's in a coma, and she finds herself repeating this day over and over again, trying to save her fiance. And as she repeats the day over and over again, her ice queen kind of persona melts, and she begins to let down her guard and let other people in. And so it's very Hallmark in that aspect because she's got a nice gooey, warm and cuddly center. And of course it has a happy ending. I won't tell you how it ends, but a very happy ending. So I think this is perfect for Hallmark or even Netflix. I would go Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely got my attention with Groundhog Day meets It's a Wonderful Life. That's definitely something we could go big with if we want to. Could be Netflix. We might be looking at Netflix. Do you have anybody attached to this project?
You know what? I don't watch a lot of TV, so I don't know any actresses or actors, so I'm totally open on that.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of casting directors, so that's a little consequence at this point. Do you have any location shoots in mind? Because my people could scout out locations, but it's always great if you come to me with some suggestions.
Yeah. So this one takes place in a fake town in North Carolina. It's called Snow Haven.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just the mountains of North Carolina. So I think you could get it cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of cozy little cabins and towns in North Carolina. I think you could get it done cheap.
Yeah. You know what? We'll just film it in Ohio. We'll just film it in Ohio. Yeah. I mean, there's like hills. That's hills, mountains, pretty much same thing.
As long as there's snow, we need snow.
Yeah, we can always make snow. It's not as much snow. It depends where in Ohio, but we could always make snow too. And also, could do that. Okay. Have you pitched to anybody else outside of Hallmark, Netflix, and Lifetime? Are you coming to us exclusively? Coming to me?
It's exclusive.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Annie. My people will be in touch with you, being you don't have an agent. You and Kerry Winfrey really need to get agents on this. You might want to look into Mia Heintzelman's agent. I'll get that name for you and get it to you.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Goodbye, Annie. All right. Mia, you set this whole thing in motion here.
I'm dramatic.
Jacqueline.
I'm ready. A little nervous. That was the hard acts to follow. So my agent is actually snowed in right now, so she couldn't make the meeting to talk about Snowden for Christmas. I had been sitting on this one since the start of this, so I'm like so proud. I just want to end the pitch there. But so no, I will be advocating for myself. So my name is Jaqueline Snowe. I'm going to talk about Snowden for Christmas. I did just want to make sure this was the right place of like Hallmark After Hours or like Hallmark Rated R. It's a little bit steamier. If you were going to take a Hallmark movie, there are some like numerous explicit scenes. So with this story, it is about a bubbly sorority house mom who is just all sunshines. Her parents are constantly setting her up on dates that she just refers to them as frogs, right? It's never the right one. And then this huge blizzard is coming. So this actually takes place in central Illinois, where that is where I grew up. And so, I mean, we had a 2-week blizzard. And so that she's getting ready in the sorority house, all the girls are gone and her power goes out. And so who comes to the door to be like, hey, I know your power's out. You don't have any firewood. You're not going to survive. It's the guy who ghosted her 2 years ago, who happens to be the grumpy football coach who lives just next door in this college town. And so he's super grumpy. I mean, they had this fantastic date, this fantastic kiss, and he's like, I'm going to call you. And then he never did. And then he avoids her for 2 years. And so obviously there's only one fireplace and only one bed, and they have to cuddle for absolute survival. So it's like really high stakes, but I feel like faking snow would be pretty easy. And if it needs to be filmed in Ohio, I would make that sacrifice to, I mean, as long as it's just a nice house with a fireplace, we can work with that.
Yeah. We're trying to get everything down to an Ohio budget. So yeah, that's definitely. So did you mention only one fireplace? Talk me through how that works.
So so he rescues her from the sorority house because it's way too big. And so they go to his house, which is like a cozy 2-bedroom, and the living room has a fireplace where he pulls out his mattress. And of course he stocks up. There is a joke about like how much wood he has, but so he has all the firewood and ready to go. And so I said that with a straight face, again, very proud of myself, but
you should be.
And so, yeah, he's like a survivalist. And so I kind of picture him as like a Henry Cavill, I think it's Cavill, but like beard, like kind of like rugged, just like wearing like plaid and just being grumpy and frowny.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Henry Cavill, love him. We do not have the budget for him. He is like 7,000 figures. What was that?
Does he have cousins?
Does he have cousins? I'll get some people on that to check it out. We might have to go the Hallmark route because those guys are hot and they're cheap, just as cheap as Ohio. So there's Wes Brown at Hallmark. We could do something with him. There's a few hunky guys that maybe I could get a casting director to put out some feelers. Now, little concerned here about the heat on Hallmark. That's not going to fly. Then Netflix would even be pushing it. What kind of what level of steam are we dealing with here?
It's not like the far steamy end, but it's open door. So it's definite open door spice or steam. And it's gotcha. Explicit.
All right, we could work around that. We could work with that. How about for the woman lead? What are you doing? What do you have?
Dream scenario would be Lily James. She just has that like bubbly, flirty vibe to her. But I also know that that's probably might be out of the budget, but she would be the dream.
Okay, well, my producers and that I deal with, they've been trying to discourage us from hiring more across the pond talent, posing as Americans because it's taking away jobs. So we're going to have to go with the American version of Lily James. Don't know who that is. We'll look into it.
No, that sounds great.
Okay. Well, Jaqueline, I'll be in touch. You really need to get in touch with Mia Heintzelman's agents because apparently there's a lot of authors running around trying to get movie adaptations with no representation. But thank you very much for coming in. Goodbye.
Or a shovel. So we can dig her agent out of the snow.
Yeah. So now that we've gone through our pitches, we'll go around and do what tropes you use to tell your love story, include any tropes that you might have created, such as Jaqueline's only one fireplace. Obviously, that is yours. I have deemed it so. Jaqueline, being you were the last, let's hear Snowden for Christmas. What tropes do you use?
Sunshine and grump, forced proximity, I would say second chance a little bit, just, the ghosted dates, and then only one bed, only one fireplace. Those would be the main ones.
Mia, haven't heard from you in a while.
Okay, I've got a lot of them. Second chance, not one bed, but it's like the last bed. There's like a bet to see who's going to get the last bed, okay, that they're going to share. There's a sassy combat boot wearing 11-year-old. There is a Big Bear holiday. There's slow burn, opposites attract, the one that got away. There's a bookstore owner, which I love a good bookish character. We've got a secret admirer, and we've got jaded heroine who's like over love.
Gotcha. And anything pertaining to the board game? Do you have a board game trope? I feel like you should have.
The whole thing is Clue from the beginning to end.
Is there a trope that encompasses board game in a romance? Like,
I mean, unless if you want like nerdy, quirky hobby or something like that.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
with that.
Nerdy, quirky hobby romance. Yeah. All right, it's yours.
There's a lot of that out there.
Kerry, the tropes, please.
Okay, so based on the title, Faking Christmas, you can guess it's fake dating, but it's kind of like fake dating supersized. It's like fake marriage, fake family, fake farm, fake entire life. Also enemies to lovers, just one bed, and I guess forced proximity because they get snowed in. Snowed in is my favorite ever trope. So it's basically why I wrote this book.
Oh, yeah. For someone like me who doesn't like massive amounts of snow, I do love a good snowed in. I like the romance of it. Of even if you're just snowed in by yourself, like it's just so cozy and romantic just to be able to, spend time on your own.
Yeah, you're inside, so it's nicer than being out in the snow.
Yes, yes. Annie, throw some tropes at me.
All right, I got a time loop, of course, with the Groundhog's Day, a second chance romance, I would say, because we don't know if he's going to live or not. So we don't know if they're going to get their second chance at love.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to call him, do you call it a cinnamon roll or a cinnamon bun?
Oh,
A cinnamon roll.
He's a cinnamon roll hero. And then I have an ice queen heroine at first, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And, I have like a little kid in the book. And I think kids are a big thing. And holiday, of course, holiday romance.
I'm going to go around the Zoom room and let's talk about heat levels. I've created a holiday heat meter, and you tell me which applies to your holiday romance. I've got on the sweet end, snuggled by the fire, warm gingerbread, spicy gumdrops, and then we have ho ho hot. So ho ho hot would be like super explicit, lots of sex. The one person who I think might come close to ho ho hot, Jaqueline, you said that there was some serious steam. Are you spicy gumdrop or ho ho hot?
Spicy gumdrop.
Okay,
yeah.
Spicy gumdrop. Okay. Mia, are you warm gingerbread or spicy gumdrop?
I'd probably say we're the spicy gumdrop too.
Annie, I'm going to say snuggled by the fire for you, or is it warm gingerbread?
Well, my hero's in a coma for most of the book, so it might be frozen. He might be snowed in. He might be cold.
Okay, gotcha.
So bad. It was anything other than that.
Kerry, I want to say warm gingerbread.
This is like snuggled by the fireplace, maybe a little bit of warm gingerbread.
Okay, that's right.
This is like my most closed door book.
Yeah. So I'm going to jump right into craft. Is there a holiday to romance ratio that you used in crafting your love stories?
It gets blended. I think it's like completely holiday, completely romance. Like I'm constantly thinking about both. So like to me, the Christmas is exactly like the setting, like you're in that setting. So the Christmas is there along with the romance. So I say 50-50. Like it's pretty even.
Okay. Have you ever gotten notes from an editor, or have you even on your own said, gee, I think I need to put more holiday stuff in here? Like after you do your first draft, do you look back and say, okay, well, that seemed pretty organic, but now I feel like it's missing a little bit of, stocking stuffers or ice skating or
for a non-Christmas book, I struggle to have what are they going to do? But when it's Christmas time, it's like, okay, they have to do everything. They have to go get a tree and they have to go buy presents and they have to get hot chocolate. So I feel like there's never a shortage. And I always want to put all of it in there because it's Christmas. So you don't want to go too skimpy on the Christmas.
Kerry, a holiday to romance ratio. Now, this was your first holiday romance, right, Kerry? So
Yes.
I'm assuming there's a little bit of a different approach. Were you very conscious of, okay, I have to have enough holiday, I have to have enough romance, I don't want either to outdo the other, or maybe you did want to do a little bit more outdoing in certain respects. So what was the ratio that you found worked best for you?
Well, this is hard because the book itself is kind of a screwball comedy. So a lot of it was based around the family of Laurel, the main character. So it's funny that you asked Annie if she ever got any notes from her editor, if she should add more holiday stuff, because I got notes from my editor, like, maybe don't have their family in every scene. Like, let's get some romance. Like, it was hard because I wanted everything to be like so Christmassy and funny and goofy. So I did have to pull that back a little bit. I would say now maybe it's 50-50, but initially it was too much Christmas and not enough romance.
Interesting. So you went hard with the Christmas and then you had to
I
pull back.
did. Yeah.
It's easier to take away than to have to, oh God, now I got to come up with all this other stuff. So, I mean, I think that's a good problem as a holiday romance writer to have. Jacqueline, is this your first holiday romance? Okay.
Yes.
So what ratio or what combination of holiday and romance did you find worked best for you?
So I like, truthfully, even just listening to everyone else talk about it, I feel like mine is not like the blizzard itself almost was a character. And then once the blizzard kind of settled, it became Christmas, because in my head, they were kind of the same, like blizzard, Christmas, romantic, right? It's snowy and cuddly. And so I feel like it's not like a lot of Christmas in this one. It takes place, but even just working on the second book that within this deal, like it is 80% Christmas now, because I feel like I'm overcompensating for this one because the blizzard took so much precedence of it.
Okay.
But there's not like a set number. So I feel like I'm going to have to pull back a little bit for this next book I'm working on.
Now, when does your next book come out? Is this next Christmas?
Next October.
Next October. Oh, interesting. So, Mia, where do you stand on the holiday to romance ratio?
I love Christmas, so I want it all in there. And I'm constantly, like, I have an ongoing list of Christmas related events and things to do so that I can always have it readily available for any book. And so I lean more towards the 75% ratio of Christmas, and then the romance is there too. It's all going like as an even thread, but it is like an overload of Christmas, and I love it, every bit of it, because we've got tubing, snow, gift wrapping, trees, anything you can think of that's Christmas. I have put it in there. There's a reference to it.
How did each of you get into the holiday headspace to write your holiday romance novels? I am pretty sure that most of you wrote your novels not during the holidays. Please tell us when you were writing, what time you were writing your novels, and what you did to get into the headspace, whether it was music, whether it was watching movies. Kerry, I'm sure that you watched Christmas in Connecticut. So if you could each share when you were writing your holiday romance and how you got into the headspace. Kerry?
All right. Well, I was drafting Faking Christmas in summer. So it was very difficult. I kind of had to, make my own Christmas in July vibes. So I had a Christmas candle I kept on my desk, like a Christmas tree scented candle. And I listened to Christmas music a lot. My favorite song is Last Christmas. So I kind of just would have that on repeat the whole time I was writing. And that kind of helped. And there's a lot of Christmas music in the book. So I don't know if that's like because of what I was listening to. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. And then when I was editing the book, it was winter, but after Christmas. So we kept our Christmas tree up until February, and my family just kind of had to deal with it. Like, we have a fake tree, so it was fine. I was like, I need to be in the holiday spirit still.
Right. Oh, wow. Annie.
I think I was writing probably like in the springtime for this one, if I remember. Usually when I'm writing a Christmas book, it's never ever during Christmas. It's always like summer would probably be like my prime time for writing. But I don't really do anything special. I'm one of those people that I don't know the words to any songs except for Christmas songs. So I already sing Christmas songs all year long. So I'm always like singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because I only know the words to those songs. So that's really all I do. I think I don't have any Christmas trees up or anything special. And usually when I'm writing, I'm in a dark corner. So it's just me and my imagination.
Okay,
kind of boring, but
the dark corner has me concerned. It sounds more ominous than light.
Oh, it looks ominous. I have a like a little blanket in a dark corner, and I kind of hide in my house.
Interesting.
At like 4 a.m. in the morning, so it's super dark.
Oh, okay. So is that your secret to writing cozy, romantic holiday stories? Is you have to go into the darkness and
Yeah,
to reach the light?
maybe. I mean, maybe so. That makes it sound like a good thing.
It does, but the way I explain it, it sounds creepy, doesn't it? uh,
It works. All I can say is it works.
Whatever it is, it works, Annie. So keep going into dark corners. Jacqueline, when were you writing and how did you get into the headspace?
So I do have to say, so I've been in the Phoenix area for 10 years where there is really no winter. And so for me, it's like a mental game of like, do you remember when you were frozen walking to your car and when you grew up in Illinois? But what actually really helped spark it for me is it was after I had my son, I'm not kidding, I watched on maternity leave probably 25 Hallmark movies because that's when the timing was. And I was a new mom and I just was kind of surviving. And I was like, I'm going to watch all of these. And that just like sparked this love of the holiday, the romance, and all the different tropes and stuff. And so now it's just music. But to get the initial start with this, it was from watching so many of those movies and just falling in love with it.
Wow. Mia, how'd you get into the headspace?
Right in the middle of the Las Vegas heated summer. That's when I was writing this. So no Christmas in sight, not even a little breeze. But I usually throw on Mariah Carey, okay, because it just like during Christmas time, you're going to hear her at least 500 times. Then I'll have some hot chocolate with whipped cream, maybe a couple marshmallows. And then I've got my go-to movies. My favorite is The Holiday. I also love This Christmas and Miracle on 34th Street. So any of those will get me straight into the spirit.
So you've all reached the fun segment. This title needs a story, Holiday Romance Edition. Each author will be given a holiday romance title that I have created, and you tell me what that story is about. Okay, so each of you get to pick a number from 1 to 5. Mia, pick a number from 1 to 5.
3.
Okay. You have chosen the holiday romance called Snowball Effect.
Ooh.
So if you could just tell me briefly what it's about, any tropes that would appear in Snowball Effect.
It's a holiday romance.
Yes.
Okay. And it's a fictional holiday team. So it's a kind of a sports romance with this holiday. And it's about who can throw the farthest snowball. And it's really huge in this small town. And this woman gets hit by one. And the hot player has to like take care of her because she's sick and they're going to be, no. It's gonna be like she has to stay with him and take care of her, and and then he's gonna end up teaching her how to play this and throw the best snowball, and then of course by the end they're in love and they are the winners of this snowball tournament.
Okay, I like it. I feel like there's the Marsha Brady trope where someone gets hit in the face with a ball and is like, oh no. So this person gets hit with the snowball and then it's like there's swelling and there's like a concussion process. So are there rocks in the snowballs? Have you ever heard that? People throwing
really thick packed snow and this ball is
it's very packed. Okay.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
See, where I grew up in the Bronx, in New York City, people would put rocks inside of snowballs.
That is horrible.
And then throw it at each other.
Yes.
Okay, so that's not what happened. What would happen in
not
your
a Bronx tale at all.
Okay, I like it. I like it. So there's kind of, I think there's a name for that trope where someone is nursing them to health, and I don't know. What's the name of that type of trope?
I don't know. It's just like
sick person trope. I don't know.
Take care of you, and you have to be vulnerable, and then obviously it was like enemies. They're obviously enemies, and then the fact that they have to be together, and he has to take care of her.
Well, if they're enemies, then you really should consider putting rocks in the snowballs. I'm just not, I'm just saying.
You're trying to really kill this girl. I'm just trying to give her a slight concussion. And, of course, his family is like, you better take care of her.
Oh, and then the family gets it. So then you have a meddling family.
The family is got to be around during the holidays, and they are really adamant about this.
Okay. I like the idea that a small town, because you hear about all small towns around the world sometimes having these insane competitions and festivals. So I like that there's this snowball throwing festival. Okay. You know what? We'll film that one in Ohio too.
I'm going to be taking notes on this for later.
Please, if anyone uses anything that comes up in here, just throw my name. Absolutely. Thank you, Liz Donatelli, in the acknowledgements. Yeah. Okay. We have now 1, 2, 4, and 5 left. Annie, what would you like? 1, 2, 4, or 5?
I go with 5. I'm scared. This is hard.
I was hoping you wouldn't pick 5 because this one is a little bit of a sexual innuendo, but maybe you could spin this into something more chaste. Okay, here we go. It's hung by the chimney.
Oh my gosh. Hung by the chimney. Okay.
But you can spin it to be whatever heat level you want.
Okay, well, I can't promise you this is going to be a genius plot here. Okay, so there's this woman and she's been in her house and everybody's worried about her. She's not answering her door. It's snowing outside. I'm going to steal a little bit from the snowed in. Okay. That Jaqueline has going here. It's snowing outside. And so the hot neighbor next door needs to go check on her, but she's not answering the door. So he has to get his ladder. He's kind of like a handyman, like nice.
Okay.
Buff guy. And so he tries to go down the chimney because that's the only way in. Oh. And so he goes down the chimney and I think he gets caught in the chimney. Maybe like
Does he get caught because he's so hung?
He gets caught because he's so hung. I don't know, but she comes to him and helps him get out of the chimney, so they kind of save each other almost.
Okay,
but they're still snowed in to the house together, and he came down the chimney. He was hung by the chimney, but he got hurt while he was coming down the chimney. So I'm going to steal some of Mia's little caregiver there, and so she has to nurse him back to because he got hurt coming down the chimney.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I like how you spun that because I wasn't at all thinking about physically coming down a chimney, but I like it. It works. Jaqueline, which one would you like? 1, 2, or 4?
4.
Okay. You've selected Mistletoe Madness. And just a side note, while looking up things related to mistletoe, I realized mistletoe is poisonous. Did anyone know that? If you would see? You knew that? Everyone knew that?
Oh, I did not.
No, I knew it.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that. Kerry, you knew that.
I did, yeah.
I know too.
I wonder why. Jaqueline, did you know that?
I did not.
Well, I was wondering if mistletoe madness actually was a thing, like what you get if you eat it, but no, you just die. So, so mistletoe madness isn't the name of the disease, but it could be. I don't know.
I feel like I had a thread of an idea and now I want to turn it into a murder mystery romance. But
well, you could do romantic suspense.
Oof. Okay. So mistletoe madness. My initial idea was that, small town brothers have this mistletoe dare for the holidays. And so there is a forbidden aspect of it. And so one of them, not brothers, sorry, best friends. And one of them has a younger sister. Okay. And so then you get the brother's best friend trope. Yeah. And so that was immediately where my head went, and then just a competition. But now that I know they're poisonous,
keep going with this one. This one's good. Keep going. I like the brother's best friend.
Okay, so brother's best friend and it's a younger sister, and they're tied, and so he's is so desperate to win this competition because they're gonna have to buy the other one a ski trip or something, and so he sees his sister to finally win this bet, and so he kisses her and the mistletoe, and then she's mad at him. And so then it turns into this awkward, and there's obviously they're gonna have to be snowed in, or they're at a resort somewhere. There has to be some forced proximity where they're trying to avoid each other after it, and they obviously can't.
Oh, wow.
And so that is.
So you got the trope. I feel like that's a trope too about the dare and the bet.
Yeah. The wager. There's a wager.
The wager.
Wager. Yes.
I feel like you needed a little sprinkle of magic. Like when he kissed that sister, then what happened? Something was there. I felt you were on the right track.
Ooh. This is like, okay, I need to do book 3 soon. So like, I'll thank this panel and the.
Yeah. Just thank me. Just thank me. Okay, very good. All right, Kerry, we've got 2 left.
Okay.
1 or 2.
I'm going to go with number 1.
You know what? I had a feeling you might. Okay, get ready. This one is, I think it's going to be a little tough.
Oh, no.
You've selected Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen is the title of this holiday romance. And if everyone knows that those are 3 of Santa's 12 or many reindeer.
So, Liz, you and I are in a book club together.
Yes.
So from the book club, I learn about all different kinds of romance novels I don't read. And something people sometimes talk about are shifter romances. One of my favorite parts of book club is learning about all the facets of the romance world. It's fun. Yeah. So this is going to be a shifter romance about reindeer. We are limited in my knowledge of how much I know about shifter romances and also reindeer, but they're reindeer brothers, if that makes sense.
Okay, sure.
And they are really looking to settle down and find some wives. So it has something to do with going out with Santa on Christmas Eve and meeting some single moms somehow while they're delivering gifts.
Oh, so is Santa a wingman? Is Santa?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Santa is helping.
Have to find it by Christmas and find these wives by Christmas night. Like there's a cutoff time.
Oh,
or they're stuck as reindeer.
Stuck as reindeer forever, and they won't be able to shift human men. This is good.
I expect you to write this, Kerry, immediately.
It would be a big departure. I think my agent and editor would be like, what?
I know a pen name coming on.
Yeah. Oh my. Actually, I think this would be a great group. Maybe an anthology. Yeah. Each one of you takes different brothers' perspective. Okay. You know what? That went in I did not expect that, Kerry.
I didn't either.
I applaud you for really flexing your creative muscles on that. Now we've all done one, but we do have one left. Would everybody like to do it together as a group? So the one we have left is number 2, and it's called Sugar Cookie Shenanigans.
My mind is so dirty.
Oh, I was
thinking of Hung by the Chimney? Is that what
her cookie? That's where my mind went.
See, I wasn't thinking that. Don't defile the sugar cookies like that, Mia.
I was thinking the meddling grandma.
Meddling grandma. Okay. Go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, that was all I got. Just with the sugar cookie.
So the grandmother makes sugar cookies. Is that what you're saying?
A bake-off type.
A bake-off.
Organizing a bake-off.
Okay. Yeah. Organizing a bake-off. So this is like a Rivals to Lovers, or do you think we could squeeze in Secret Baby?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Maybe there's a Secret Baby that you win if you...
What's the title again? Sugar Cookie what?
Sugar
cookie shenanigans.
Sugar bookies. Sugar cookie shenanigans. Thank you, Jaqueline.
Yeah, there's got to be some type of bake-off, enemies to lovers.
Okay, but there's shenanigans. So what's the shenanigan part?
You know what? I saw a Hallmark movie where someone had like a cookie recipe that was magic. So maybe someone has like a cookie recipe that will make people fall in love.
Ooh, yes. Nothing better than Christmas magic. Throw it in there. Just spread it all around. Yes.
Christmas magic.
I give that a thumbs up.
Okay. I guess that's Sugar Cookie Shenanigans. Releasing next Christmas. Well, thank you all for playing This Title Needs a Story Holiday Romance Edition. You were all great sports about it. And thank you for making time to join me here on Reader Seeks Romance. Mia, Annie, Jaqueline, and Kerry. Happy holidays to you all.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.